To improve the safety and efficiency of the city maritime network, the New South Wales Government requires an upgrade to the Balmain East Ferry Wharf. The wharf is an essential pillar of inner-city transportation network, ferrying over 1,700 passengers a month in peak season. So this presentation is a brief overview of the project management plan that has been prepared by JMAS Constructions, in particular all the items shown on screen here. So just to quickly introduce the team, my name is Steph and I'll be running through the risk management, WHS and environment. We've got Josh on the schedule and handover, Abe on costing, Mustafa on site management plan, and Kate on monitoring and control. Identifying and effectively managing risk is an essential part of any project. JMAS Constructions has developed an extensive risk register, identifying the risks into design, construction and handover phases. So risks have been categorized using the matrix system shown on screen, taking into account the likelihood and consequence of an event, and suggesting mitigation actions to reduce the risk rating down to an acceptable level. So the risks with the highest rating upon completion of the register were scope creep, material defects or poor construction methods leading to poor quality project and reduced lifespan, public dissatisfaction and injury to site staff. So while each of these risks do have their own individual responses in the register, the main outcomes of the analysis were to include a time and cost contingency, ensure that stakeholder engagement remains high throughout the duration of the project, maintain quality through QA/QC checks, and ensure adherence of all site staff to the work health and safety policies and procedures.
Thanks, Steph. I will now discuss the schedule for the project. As part of the scheduling for the Balmain East Wharf upgrade, the team has devised a work breakdown structure and Gantt chart to highlight the main work packages and critical path. As shown on the screen, the work breakdown structure has been categorized into 3 levels, with 4 segments on level 2, namely pre-construction, planning and development, construction, and finalisation. The sub-packages are shown in level 3, which pertain to each category. Pre-construction involves the preliminary project works upon approval of the business case. The next stage is planning and development, which kickstarts the projects in terms of council and state approvals and procurement. Construction works is to follow, which has been divided into 11 sub-packages stemming from demolition to construction and fit-out, and finalisation is the last category, which oversees commissioning of the project along with consultant certification and client approvals. The work breakdown structure was further detailed to produce an extensive Gantt chart, depicting the durations for each task and outlining the critical path of the project. An estimation of resources was calculated for each activity, which included manual labour and equipment. As outlined in the business proposal, the main construction activity were forecasted to commence in early May, with targeted completion by late September, aligning with off-peak traffic studies. The project schedule critical path calculates the optimum completion duration of 106 days. This consists of 3 days for pre-construction, 27 days for planning and development, 62 days for construction, and 14 days for finalisation. A brief snapshot of the major resources calculated for the project are presented on the slide. Further, a list of assumptions are required to be known in conjunction with this schedule. A complete list of all scheduling requirements will be further outlined in the final construction management plan.
Thanks, Josh. I'll now discuss the costings of this project. The costing of this project was estimated from the tasks listed within the work breakdown structure from pre-construction phase to project finalisation and handover, including final inspections and defect closeouts. Costs of this project include labour costs, plant and material costs, and a contingency fund. The cost breakdown identifies the costs associated with different stages of the project, with labour costs applied to all stages. A contingency of 20% was added to this project to allow for associated risks. We propose that this project will have a total cost of just over $3 million. Labour costs were derived from the Cordell Commercial Building Cost Guide and contribute to just over 40% of the entire project, with an estimated total of almost $1.3 million. Total plant cost for this project is estimated to be about $855,000, which includes site establishment such as a site shed, toilet, a kitchen, plus accessories. Construction and demolition plant includes excavator, 3 barges, 1 with a crane and a piling rig. The material costs are approximately $311,000 and also include pre-construction materials such as hoarding and sediment control, as well as construction materials such as piles, pontoon materials, including steel frame and flotation modules, concrete and reinforcement, roofing materials, and final items such as lighting and CCTV.
Thanks, Abe. So all work undertaken will be in compliance with the Work Health and Safety Act 2011, amended in 2020, and the Work Health and Safety Regulation 2017. The WHS policies and procedures outlined in the risk assessment will be adhered to by all staff. So the main hazards considered are listed on the slide here, including manual handling, outdoor exposure, working near water, fire, electrical, moving machinery or plant, site layout, workplace violence, stress or distraction, COVID-19, demolition, and access to amenities. So J-Mars Constructions has also prepared an environmental management plan to ensure that there are minimal impacts of the construction works on the receiving environment. So the potential risks and mitigation responses have been identified for air quality, noise and vibrations, visual amenity, water quality and soils, biodiversity, visual amenity, traffic and parking, heritage, waste management, and climate change. So the risks also identify a responsible person, i.e. the contractor or site manager, etc., to ensure that there is a staff member held accountable to make sure that these risks are reduced.
Thank you, Steph. A site management plan has been established to guide and prepare the community for the future development. This proposal includes the upgrade of the existing wharf and the construction of the new wharf in the same location. As a main contractor, we have developed plans and assumptions concerning the site establishment, site-specific constraints, and equipment and material storage. The new wharf is created from a steel floating pontoon, a concrete fixed entry platform, and a gangway that connects the entry platform to the pontoon. The pontoon contains a curved roof, a glass panels, and a new seating offering some protection from the weather and improved system. The vision of the road and the maritime services is to create a workplace where everyone can go home safely and healthy every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mustafa. I'll now talk about the monitoring and control of this project. Project Management Body of Knowledge, or PMBOK, defines project monitoring and control as the data gathering, management, and analytical processes used to predict, understand, and constructively influence the time and cost of outcomes of a project or program through the communication of information in formats that assist effective management and decision-making. The text on the left of the slide lists the type of monitoring that will be used during the deconstruction and reconstruction of the wharf. These are used to track the listed key performance indicators found on the right of the slide. On the left side of this slide details the benefits of having detailed baselines pertaining to the schedule and budget. Hold points identified for the construction and deconstruction of the wharf have been listed on the right side of the slide. Hold points are parts of a project that are required to be signed off before the project can continue.
Thanks, Kate. And finally, the handover. The handover stage will involve ensuring all defects matters are closed, consultant certifications are completed, and the client is ultimately satisfied with the project. JMask will further need to ensure the client is provided with all operation and maintenance manuals, specifications and warranty, training if required, and a handover of the final contract. A complete list of the potential issues arising from this stage is outlined in the final construction management plan. Thank you for watching.